Hi, and welcome to M1 Yarns and the Michigan Makers Podcast. I'm Jamie, the host and the dyer behind m1yarns.com. And if you're new here, welcome. This is a knitting and spinning podcast. And if you're returning, you're like, wait a minute, I thought this was just a knitting podcast. We've added spinning because I am now a spinner. Spinster? I don't know. Anyway, this is I talked about this last episode, I believe. Maybe I just talked about it on my Instagram. Anyway, this is my electric Eel Wheel 6 that I recently acquired. And this, I know, it looks terrible. This is terrible. I was doing good. I was on a roll. We're going to talk about this. We've got quite a bit of overspun. This is my first full bobbin, nearly full. And I could not be more proud. This is going to be a fun episode because I have all kinds of creative stuff to tell you about. So I hope you grab your whip and a drink and let's dive right in. So I just got home the other day from the Michigan Fiber Festival, which is held every August in Allegan, Michigan at the fairgrounds. And let's see, what can I say? To be a yarn dyer at a fiber festival is like the ultimate, I don't know, mix of emotions. It's more than emotions. It's physically exhausting, but it's so exciting to meet people and to help people build, new projects with color ideas and that sort of thing. And this festival got my fiber mojo like buzzing. I mean, my knitting mojo has been pretty high all summer, but I think because I just acquired that spinning wheel, it had a new excitement to being at the fiber festival because so many of the vendors around me from where I could see from my booth had bags and bags and bags and balls and Rolags of fiber, and it had me buzzing. So I'm going to tell you all about what I acquired, what I've been knitting, but I know I met a lot of you there, so that was really exciting. Let's just start with my festival haul because I did do some shopping. And you're probably like, Jamie, how did you shop while you're vending? Well, usually there's like that 10 minutes before the festival opens where we're all at each other's booths checking stuff out. And let me just start with, okay, so first of all, let me tell you about this. I was fortunate enough to spend some time with some friends who also spin. And one of the gals, Mary, her business is Apple Tree Farms, Apple Tree Alpacas. I'll try to drop it below. Oh, I do try to put show notes below in the drop down. She gave me a shopping bag full of some fiber that she had, and she was like, "This is what you need to try to spin with." And sure enough, this was about 2 evenings worth. You could kind of tell, like, there were moments where I was less stressed or more kind of flowing and the yarn was good. And then there were times where I was like frazzled and it was overspun like here. But I think for a good first practice, it was really great to spend some time with people who could kind of guide me. So once I kind of got on a roll with spinning, I was buzzing and decided that the vendor next to me at the Fiber Festival, who's a good friend of mine, Bridget, she is Happy Goat Lucky You. She has a farm outside of Lansing, Michigan, and I bought this whole bag from her. No, that's not the bag. Hold on. It's the other bag. I bought, and I have to show you this fiber. I mean, look how gorgeous this is. So this is 2.5 pounds. I might have gone a little overboard, but it's a sweater's quantity. This is 75% merino teeswater and 25% mohair. And so I was really excited to support a friend of mine who's in the business. So that was my first fiber purchase. Then I bought this bag, which is 1.5 pounds of, look at that, oh my god, and it's so soft. Jacob Corriedale in a natural color, obviously. And so I got 1.5 pounds of that. And then I got this, which, now that I sit here and I'm talking to you, I don't remember what this is. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It's fiber. So I had to I think fiber festivals are the best place to get this stuff because you can feel it, you can touch it, you can see what kind of condition that it's in. You can support these small businesses, and then you're supplied. So if you are a spinner and you have some favorite places that you get your fiber, will you please comment below, because I would love to kind of create an arsenal of businesses I'd like to support with my new spinning habit. So along those lines, I knew that for my spinning, I would need a couple things. A nitty knotty, which I acquired. This is a Kromsky 1 yard, I think, nitty knotty. And then I also need a Lazy Kate for plying. And the Lazy Kate I'm thinking about getting, and if you have ideas on this, comment below. But Streaming Robots, who makes the electric Eel Wheel e-spinner, makes this really cool 3D printed one that has like three slots for bobbins, and then it's adjustable, but they're currently out of stock. So I might get that. I might wait till Rhinebeck, although that means I technically would not be able to ply until Rhinebeck. So anyway, if you have a Lazy Kate that you are in love with, tell me about it so I can look into that. So that was another acquisition. And because I don't shop for yarn very much because I'm a yarn dyer, this is like a whole new thing that gets me jazzed, and I feel like it's a whole different mental direction. It's not project based. I'm not sitting here thinking oh, I need this sample for the shop. I just sit down and spin, and it's super relaxing. The last thing that I acquired, so several years ago at Rhinebeck, I bought some socks from a booth. I couldn't tell you their name, unfortunately. I know I have the card somewhere, but they had alpaca on them, and they were my favorite socks. They're made of alpaca and bamboo, and one of the vendors at this festival had the exact same socks. And I had worn through mine from, I think I bought them about 4 years ago. And I've always wanted to replace them, but I didn't know, what brand they were, where I could find them again. And so this booth that was new to me, Bernard Family Farm, they're from Bonnie, Illinois. They had a fantastic display. And they're going to be at the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival in early September, I believe. So if you're going to that, you should definitely check them out. Lovely, lovely people. So I told them my story about getting these at Rhinebeck and needing more. And they do have a website. I'll drop it below. So I got these, which I'm so excited about. And then I got these Alpaca sport socks, which I just love. They're super delightful feeling. So, okay, if you've been here a while, you know that on occasion I have taken some garments, like cotton garments, and over dyed them. And I've done this with coveralls 3 times. I'll try to insert some photos. I've done this with, what else have I done it with? I don't know. Anyway, my latest project, I'm going to insert a photo of what it was. So this is a tiered dress from Banana Republic. I had seen this at the mall several months ago and really liked it and thought it would be fun to style it. And they make it in black and they make it in this white that I have on the screen now. I really don't feel like I look good in white since I'm so fair-skinned. So I had thought about the black, but I also thought it would be really fun in color. And I happened to be scrolling on eBay one day, and I saw this dress available in my size in white, brand new with tags, for a ridiculously cheap price. So I purchased it, and I decided I was going to over dye it. I had been really weighing my color options. I thought about a yellow like this, which is my current new obsession. And then I thought about a teal or maybe like a deeper emerald green, mostly because I'd recently bought this vintage like Mexican style belt that had turquoise stones on it. And to go with this belt, I had bought these leather earrings. I think I wore these on the last podcast episode. I actually got these on Amazon for like 10 bucks. I got these earrings to go with the belt. So I thought I should dye something maybe this color or maybe a little bit deeper because it would be like a whole motif. So I think I took a photo of the first dye pass, so I'll insert that here. And I wasn't super happy with the overall results. I kind of thought it was just a little bit too light for my complexion. I really do tend to enjoy wearing like jewel tones and deeper colors. So I went over it again with a darker color. And I should tell you, for this, I didn't use any sort of special dyes. You can do this easily at home with Rit Dye, R-I-T, which I get from my local Michaels. I think they also have it at Joann. And you can do this in your washing machine. And I know you're thinking like, Jamie, you're crazy. You're putting dye in your washing machine. But after you do the dye cycle, I always do like a rinse cycle with vinegar in the machine and in the soap dispenser. And then I also do like another rinse cycle. And I watch the water coming out of the washer. Wow, that's a tongue twister. To see the color that it's coming out, and I wipe the rubbery gaskets. I wipe the inside. I clean the washer. And that's how I get the best results. All that to say that this is the finished result. So this was completely white, and can't you see, like, this is totally my color. So why this is still white, but this is green, you're asking? I bet you are. The dye reacts differently to cotton than it does to synthetic material. And the thread that makes this embroidered motif is synthetic. So it did not take the dye. I think this is really cool though, because when it was white on white, you really couldn't see this. And even the black on black version at Banana Republic, it's so subtle. So I think this makes it stand out really nicely. And so I was so excited about this little dye project. Going back to these earrings, I went to the listing for these on Amazon, and I saw that they make them in this color. So I think they're arriving today or tomorrow. I'll try to insert a photo of them here. But this just has me like really, really excited. This was fun. I think it just gets my creative mojo going to dye something other than yarn, and see, you know, how things come out. And I think eBay is the perfect place to do that, because not only are you upcycling clothes, but, you know, there's so much like brand new with tag stuff, or barely worn, or new without tags. And okay, yeah, it might not be your color, but can you over dye it to make it totally your style? And so, yeah, this was my latest adventure. Okay, the other exciting thing that I want to talk to you guys about. My good friend Toni of TL Yarn Crafts, whose mom is Gwen, who has been here on the podcast several times before. So Toni announced that she has a collaboration with Hobbii Yarns. And there was some of this at her mom, Gwen's house, a few weeks ago when I went over there to hang out with Gwen for a little bit. And I was like, jaw dropped. This yarn is so fabulous. And Toni was kind enough to send me a whole bunch of yarn. First and foremost, I have to tell you, okay, it's called Happy Place. And look at that logo. It's Toni. It's so cute. It captures her sweetness. Just, oh, I love it. If you know Toni, if you watch her podcast, if you follow her, you know what a delight and an inspiration she is. And if you don't already follow her, go do it. She has a million crochet videos. She's got a Tunisian crochet book, which is how I learned to Tunisian crochet. And so I'm so excited that she's partnered up with Hobbii to create her own yarn line. So she sent me all of this yarn, and it is, oh, I should tell you what it is. It's, let me make sure I have this right. 50% cotton, 50% wool. It is so buttery soft. And look at that. It's just incredible. Okay, so I had this laid out on my dining room table, and I was like, I want to make something cohesive with all of this yarn. And what struck me was inspired by Toni. She has several temperature blanket patterns. They are crochet, and I'd rather make something knit, but that's okay. I can take the inspo and then run with it. And so I thought that this would be really fun. So these two cream skeins are going to be a border. And then the rest of these colors I've designated for temperature blocks. And if you know anything about temperature blankets, you kind of will already know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to have this be for 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, because that's when the sun really comes out in Michigan. 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, teens. And so that's kind of how I've organized it. I've already created a chart of temperatures in Michigan for the year. And if you're actually interested in this chart, I might somehow figure out a way to share it. But if you're interested, comment below, and I can always email it to you. So I created a chart of like every month, and then 31 days down. And then I went on like AccuWeather.com, and I found the high for every day and then inserted it in the chart. So this was for Detroit. And we've actually had a very warm year. So far to date, we've only had one day where the high was in the teens. That's amazing. Global warming is real. So this yarn releases September 1st, and I think I'm going to get some more of the colors where, you know, it's like what we have a lot of here in Detroit. And I will probably cast this on maybe when I get home from Rhinebeck. I'd like to have it done on January 1st. And I have long wanted like a wool cotton blanket on my sofa. And so this is going to be really nice. So a big thank you, Toni, for sending me this yarn. If you guys have not already checked out this yarn, go follow her on YouTube. She has a whole video about it. And I'm just really excited for her. She's doing big things. So I had to tell you guys about that. And if you're interested in doing a temperature blanket along with me, let me know. And yeah, so I'll talk more about this once I do cast it on. But this is DK weight yarn. I found that for knitting a lot of temperature blanket patterns, we're using a size 6 needle. So that is probably what I will do. And I'm debating between like adding texture or just plain garter. And let the colors, you know, do the work. So, isn't that, oh, it's so good. Okay, so last but not least, let's talk about my knitting. Okay, so in the last few weeks, I've been a busy bee knitting samples for new kits that are in the shop. And last night I finished the latest. I had one sock done before the Fiber Festival, but I just finished the other one. These are the Lumberjack socks, a pattern by Tin Can Knits. And they're DK weight. The pattern is written for baby through adult large. And I wear a women's size 6.5 shoe. So I am kind of on the smaller side. And so I actually knit the kids sock because women's small socks tend to still be a little bit too big for me. What can I tell you about this? So this is a kit in the shop. Both kit options come with this old faded Levi's colorway for the main color. This is eggplant, and then there is a dark wash jeans option that's like a royal blue. I think if you've never knit socks before, this is the perfect pattern to start. They're knitted cuff down. It is a heel flap and gusset. This is the first time I've actually done this heel method, and I actually really liked it. Because it's DK, it's going to go faster than fingering weight. You have fewer stitches, so I think that helps mentally get through a sock. The pattern is really well written. So like I said, this is a kit in the shop. There is a very limited quantity. They actually sold fairly well at the Fiber Festival, so if you're interested, go ahead and grab those ASAP. These would make awesome holiday gifts, so that was exciting. I will probably make this pattern again and again and again, and I do love the rib feature on this because I think it just is a nice fit. So that's that. Then I also have a new hat kit in shop, and it's called Choose Your Own Adventure because while you get a skein of fingering, I'm wondering if I have a kit. I'll insert a photo here. You get a skein of fingering and a skein of lace weight Surrey alpaca, and you get multiple hat patterns. So this is just like a classic slouchy beanie, stockinette. And then this is the Lenny. You probably can't see the texture very well. I'll insert a photo. But, and then I think I've got one more pattern that you get with the kit. So there's enough yarn to make 2 hats. There's a fur pom-pom included. And yeah, so you can make 2 hats, one for you and one for a friend. Perfect for holiday gift knitting. So this is one of the color combos in the shop. I think it's magenta and northern lights held together. Isn't that cool? I love that. So that is called Choose Your Own Adventure Hat Kit. One more kit has also landed in the shop, and that is Pull the Wool Over hat kits. That's a pattern by Espace Tricot. It's a worsted weight held with a Surrey alpaca. So this is super buttery soft. Is not going to irritate your sensitive forehead skin. This goes by super fast. I think I knit this in like one evening, if I'm correct. The kit comes with the pom-pom, the yarn, and the pattern. These make awesome holiday gifts because they're just so classic and like, you know, like everyone loves a basic hat. So I've got 3 color combos in this. I'll insert some photos. This is the charcoal and night. Anyway, this is the blackish motif, and then I have like a bluey one, and then like a what is it called, mauve, mauvey pink kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I have been knitting. But now that I finished those, I was trying to get back to my Rhinebeck sweater, which in the last few days I have been chugging along on. So I'm doing the decreases up the body, and as you can see, let's see, this is where the sleeves are separated, so I'll probably sit about there. So yeah, so once I finish and I get up here, I'll need to steek, then I'll need to knit it's like a shawl collar button band, so I'll have to do that, and then knit a belt and belt loops, and then I will be done. This is oh, I didn't tell you what it is. This is the Spark cardigan by Andrea Mowry. It's knit bottom up. It's steeked, meaning it's cut open. And the silver color yarn is my middle of the road base in Silver Fox. And then the contrast color yarn is Primrose Yarn Company Homestead Sport in the colorway Fig. How cool is that? I did not think I would enjoy knitting this, but I'm actually loving this. And I would use this pattern again and knit maybe like a solid color, just something really basic. I mean, even like a oatmeal would be so nice. Going to fiber festivals gets my knitting mojo like on fire. I just want to knit all the things. So that's pretty much all I'm doing these days. I do need to cast on a gift for someone, so maybe I'll do that this weekend. Yeah, so I think that's all I have for you for now. Thanks for joining me for another episode, and until then, happy knitting, happy spinning, happy crochet, and have a good day. Bye.